What's going on, guys? Shonen Express here, delivering to you my weekly rankings. There were only 10 mangas that came out this week, so we will be counting down from 10 to 1. This week, coming in last place at number 10 is the 10th chapter of Beast Children. I really like this manga. This is a new up-and-coming manga. It's the one about, it's a sports manga about rugby. I definitely enjoy Beast Children. This week, though, we're just still in this training arc for the Sevens match, and it's not super exciting. Don't get me wrong. You know, like I said, I do like this manga, but this week just wasn't a whole lot of exciting stuff going on compared to the other chapters that we got this week. So, it takes last place on my list this week. Coming in 9th place is the 9th chapter of Tokyo Shinobi Squad. As you can probably tell from my review videos of Tokyo Shinobi Squad, this arc of this manga is kind of rough for me. I'm not that interested. I'm not that into it. And this week's chapter just, wasn't that interesting either. So this manga finds itself at the bottom of the list. If you haven't checked out my manga review of this and you do read Tokyo Shinobi Squad, definitely go check that video out. But for this week, we end up at number 9. Number 8 this week is the 163rd chapter of Vinland Saga. Now, some of you might know that the anime for Vinland Saga has just came out. The first 3 episodes are out, I believe. It is an amazing anime. Go watch it for sure, especially if you've read the manga. But even if you haven't read the manga, go watch it. But definitely read this manga. It's a great manga, and 8th place on my list doesn't really give it the clout it deserves as a whole manga. Now, Vinland Saga doesn't come out every week. It comes out infrequently. I think it's every month even. But this month's chapter, which happened to come out this week, wasn't the most interesting chapter ever, I didn't think. I like Sigurd, and I love the new character that was just introduced this week, Hatgird. I think that Hatgird's really cool. I liked, seeing it, but it just wasn't that exciting. But it is always exciting to see a Vinland Saga chapter come out, so that's why it got 8th place on my list this week. Coming in 7th is the 214th chapter of Black Clover. If you remember from last week, Black Clover is actually number 3. I really loved last week's chapter. This week's chapter got a little slower. We had a little more dialogue. We're doing some cleanup from the arc that we just had. Cool reveal, spoiler alert for Black Clover if you're not caught up, so I would stop watching me right now. It was cool to see Julius back, and since Julius was kind of back in the mix, it helped hype this chapter up. That's why it got 7th place. It's not at the bottom, but I didn't quite enjoy this chapter. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I enjoyed this chapter, but not quite as some of the other chapters higher on this list. Coming in at number 6 is the 12th chapter of Samurai 8. The Tale of Hachimaru. I really like this manga. I am a big Masashi Kishimoto fan, as you can probably see from the Naruto books on the shelf. I love Kishimoto. I was very invested in Naruto, and so I'm very invested in Samurai 8 too, since he is the author of it. So I like Samurai 8, and this week was really cool. We got that emotional bit with Hachimaru and his dad. I thought that was very good, and it definitely deserves at least 6 on my list this week, but some of the chapters above it were just really amazing this week, and that's why it ended up as 6th. Number 5 this week, and I can't believe I'm putting it this low, but number 5 is the 608th chapter of Kingdom. The stuff with Osen and Riboku this week in Kingdom was phenomenal. It was amazing. I love how both characters were described, how we see both of them, and I love how I've always liked this about Kingdom, how our main kingdom, Chin, the kingdom of Chin, isn't all good. Some of these generals are just very different, and we see that in Osen this week, and we almost see, you almost think, is Riboku the good guy? But, we know what's going on, but it was very cool to see, but it only gets 5th because the 4 above it I thought were even better than this chapter this week. Coming in 4th is the 237th chapter of My Hero Academia. The arc that we're currently in My Hero Academia is amazing. I love the stuff that we got with Shigaraki. I love that we got a little more info about, why his name was changed to Tamura Shigaraki. I thought that was interesting. We got more info about the hands. All of it was awesome. I really loved looking at this. And this arc is so cool to me. I love that we're focusing on the villains, the League of Villains specifically. It's really cool to me, and so it gets 4th place. But again, the 3 above it are just, I thought, better. Coming in 3rd this week is the 114th chapter, the 144th chapter of The Promised Neverland. This is another series that I review. Those reviews usually come out on Mondays. If you haven't seen my review of chapter 144, please go check it out. It's a great video. I'd love to have you see that too. But this chapter was awesome. We're all going to meet at the Capitol. Everything is coming to a head. I can't wait to see how this arc concludes. I want to know what deal Emma made with the demon guy, the demon king or whatever. I really want to know. And so all of that, and Sung Jo, I mean, he was amazing. I say all of this in my review, but so like I said, check that out. But it was an amazing chapter this week, and so it definitely deserves 3rd on my list this week. Coming in at number 2nd, making a huge jump from last week, is the 115th chapter of Dr. Stone. This week's Dr. Stone was really good. I don't know if it was like some sentimental stuff in me, but the stuff with Senku and his dad and the parallels and what Senku's dad did in the past for him was just touching. It was amazing how he trusted in Senku to come back and to rebuild civilization, and he just toiled for his whole life. That's really cool. I thought that whole chapter was really good, really heartwarming, and all the rest. So it definitely deserves 2nd on my list this week. And of course, coming in number 1, uncontested for 2 weeks in a row, is the 950th chapter of One Piece. One Piece is amazing. It's my favorite currently running manga. I do One Piece reviews. Usually they come out on Saturdays. If you haven't seen my review for chapter 950, please go check it out. I talk about that chapter in detail there. But the shortened version, it was an amazing chapter. The stuff that we got with Zoro, I really liked. The stuff that we got with Shuten was frustrating, but it gave us a little more background, and I love Kid, and Kid was on full display at the beginning of this chapter, not even to mention the awesome stuff with Law at the end of the chapter. But One Piece was an amazing chapter this week, and definitely deserves the number 1 spot in my weekly rankings. So, that's all I got for this week's weekly rankings. If you disagree with my rankings, please, let's go in the comment section. I'd love to hear what your rankings are. If you read some of this manga, not all of it, that's okay too. Please tell me what you thought. Tell me if you disagree, or even if you agree. Let me know down in the comments section. Also, if you liked anything I had to say, give this video a like, and please subscribe. I bring you manga reviews every single week, along with my weekly rankings at the end of the week. So, without further ado, this is Shonen Express, signing off.